Hmm. Well, here's the problem that I have with discussion like that. Is the temptation is within all of us. Different temptations. Some people want to tell others how to live. Yeah, and that's just because we're taught that way. That's what we're taught to believe. We're taught to believe that everybody's supposed to be the same. That is a part of our system. That's where we're educated. That it's not something they will give you in words. It's the action. It's everything that just manufactures that belief. Like it's a lot of things all together, right? Like you believe this, you believe this, you believe this, and then therefore this is what you believe. You believe generally everybody should be the same. um but so that's the problem that I have with discussions like that. When certain ways that you say things, a lot of people will say stuff like that, and they're like, "You have to hold yourself accountable." No, there's real people in real power in charge of shit in our system, and the system that we were born into and pushed into and lived through. There are real people that guide us into evil. That's real. That's not because we chose that. The only way is to recognize that. And you have to be against it. And most people aren't. The normal is to live in that system. The normal is to believe in that. That's the normal. That's what we're born into. This is done to us. So it's not just our desire. It's not just, it's fucking nuts, man. Like, it's programming. It's what it is, man. It's brainwashing. Indoctrination. What's the first thing you learn when you go to school? The fucking Pledge to Allegiance, man. Like, come on. Well, here's the thing. If we were taught that we are all the same, then nobody would have a desire to tell you how to live because you would already be the same. We're not the same. Every single person is a snowflake. They are. Every person is unique. Every single spirit is unique. Um, as as far as the desire, you don't naturally there. We naturally get along. People, people will naturally get along. Just in a regular walk by interaction or a chat or just existence, naturally we're not going to hate each other. Naturally we're not going to have some divide. We're not. But when we have a belief, when something is some kind of belief comes out of nowhere, or whatever we believe, that changes things. I can say if somebody, it's just weird. Whatever. That's a. I just realized that would take a lot. We'd be getting into some deep stuff, and I don't mind, but I would have to spend another hour explaining that crap, or whatever. Sorry. Just like lust isn't taught to you. It is kind well. That temptation. Yeah. No. I mean, Mm, I don't. I'm curious now that I never. That's a good point. That's fair. I like that. It makes me wonder. I know. Let me finish what you're saying, and I'm gonna go back to that because I like it. Hold on. You're born with lust. Okay. You're born with sin. In that perspective, I can believe that because I'm trying to think of like how. That's what I want to answer. Hold on. I like that. Questions like how strongly you will be beholden to your desires. Okay. People are prone to conflict with each other. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. I get maybe we are all different. For me, naturally, I'm not prone to conflict. What I find funny about I say that, and I was just talking about this yesterday. Like I've always disagreed with people on everything my whole life. I don't want to, but it's not because I want conflict. It's just because I don't agree with them. But no, naturally, I don't want to attack people. I care about people. That's my natural instinct. But I do forget that you know what? Not everybody's the same. There are evil people that naturally are evil. Whatever. Okay. 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 People are generally selfish. I fully disagree with that. I think as far as selfishness, I think that is a part of the system that forces us into this need. But that's also requires more. If I leave your bike in front of the door, I tell you to move it. You say, give me a minute, will upset the other guy because you have both selfish. What the? What does moving your friend's bike away from a door have to do with being selfish? I think I'm misunderstanding that one. So some of the stuff, I understand your perspective. I disagree just because I experienced differently. I have felt differently. I've lived it differently. But I can understand that. I can understand that. I want to go back to the lust part because it makes me wonder what the first influence was, and it makes me think about the Adam and Eve story. Okay, just the story. All right, I'm not super deep familiar with like all the scripture. I like a lot of it, but I'm not like I couldn't repeat it most of it to you. But it makes me wonder. I'm like, well, that story kind of to me until I could think of other ways to look at it. Kind of makes sense as far as what was the first thing to tempt a human being to be attracted to a woman. But at the same time, think about it. There's natural attraction. There's multiple forms of attraction, right? Physical to me is the number one just because it's the first thing you see, right? You just when you're physically attracted to someone, you're attracted with your visual. Something's pretty. You'd say like, oh, it's lust or whatever, but something's pretty. The sky is pretty. Mountains are pretty. Rocks are pretty. Like things are pretty. And when you see something pretty, you're like, oh, right. And we all have different things that we're attracted more to, right? Like, so there's physical attraction, there's spiritual attraction, and that's just vibes, basically, right? Like, what kind of vibes you get off somebody. There's personality. That's another attraction. Yeah, I don't know. I think as far as lust goes, I don't think that is evil. Kind of. I mean, right? I'm thinking of it in a natural attraction way because attraction is natural in more ways than one. Like I was just saying, spiritual, physical, personality. Pretty sure probably something else too. I don't know, but those I know those, right? There is seduction. Yeah, there is seduction, but there is a natural like all that stuff. Conflict with the bike. One guy wants the bike to move now. The other guy. Oh, okay. He doesn't want to wait a minute. Okay. Well, that's. I mean, here's the thing about that story. About like one dude, he wants you to move the bike now, and the other guy wants to wait a minute. Whatever. And I would say that's situational. I think in most cases, the person wouldn't mind waiting for a minute. It just depends. Like, what else has happened throughout your day? What else triggered you? Because a bike by itself, being something you want somebody to move it, you can't just move it yourself. Whatever. I'm not in the rude way, but a bike being somewhere you don't want it, and you ask somebody to move it, that on itself would not make anybody angry. I don't know. From how I can't imagine that by itself making you mad. What I can think is it's annoying because it's just a tiny another annoyance on top of like other things that are, stacked up or just worse or whatever, right? I don't know. That would be my guess. I would say that it's not the bike that's the problem. Something else is going on. That's all. That's what I would say to that. It's not evil to have lust in you. Well, I was just saying like the difference between natural attraction and like seduction. There is a difference there. In spectrum, somebody will be able to have full control over his lust to make conscious decision when to act on it. Well, I mean, I see balance, like everything, balance. Like that's another part of whatever. It's everything in moderation or whatever. But all these things that you're talking about, all these things, and I get it. They also come up in spiritual discussion and stuff. But that's an individual consciousness, like an individual doing their own very best within this evil system that we do live in. Stop ignoring that. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop telling people to have positive thoughts and happy fucking vibes. Oh, it's on you. Your conscience. No, we live in a shitty system, and that is the fucking problem. Okay? If you can't address that, and you just want to pretend that spirituality fixes this, fuck you. Sorry. That's my reaction to that. All right, and this is something I see this all the time. I understand that you want to say the spirituality, this is all on you, whatever, blah blah blah, make your own choice, blah blah blah. But we live in an evil system. That is a fact. That's real. We are stuck in it. So I would love to sit back and just be like, all I gotta do is meditate. You know? But guess what? If I want to survive and live in this world, this society that I'm stuck in, I have to pay the bills. And I have to live in a shitty fucking system to do that. You know, whatever, man. I like, there can be a balance. But no matter what, that balance is going to be struggling with real evil that we're forced into. You're talking about seduction and temptation, and there's a real force here. You don't have a choice. We can pretend we have a choice. What does that choice cost? How are you going to do that? That I have a choice. I can go be homeless. I can go live off the street. I can go try that. That's my choice. You telling me that's a good, happy thought to you? Is that? I mean, it could be. That's possible. I'd like the idea. If it's possible, if it's real, I like the idea. But I've done a lot of walking for my life. I walked to my jobs. I worked at an amusement park that I walked that whole park every day for a while. It was great. I loved it. I lost a lot of weight then too. Gained it back and been, you know, back and forth on the weight stuff. I've done a lot of walking, and I love the thought of walking the earth. I love that. But I know damn well, just from the trip that I took from California to here, that's a long walk, man. And I don't mind. I'm just saying it's not like some easy thing to just do. That's all. I'm just saying that, man. Is least evil of them. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, it could be worse, right? No, here. Let me tell you something on that. We might. What was it? What was it? You said we might live in an evil system, but it is the least evil of them all. You know what I thought I've had with that? There's been a couple things. Now, look, this is gonna be not super easy, but to hear, and it's not easy to say, but I have to address that because it's funny. All right, so sensitive subject, suicide. All right, just whatever. I'm not all whatever, but I've had these thoughts. Okay, one of my thoughts, as far as related to being suicide, kill myself. All right, I know I'm not going to go somewhere better. I don't think I deserve heaven. You know, right? Whatever. So I'm already like, well, I'm not going to be going to heaven. I sure as heck don't want to go to a place worse than this, especially when we're in half of heaven. The world that we live in is incredible. It's a miracle. It's just miraculous. Our life, our existence is a miracle. Like, you know, it's a miracle. This is miraculous stuff that we live in. Not the society, not the system that we live in that we're attached to, because whatever, I don't know. So there's that, right? So it could be worse. I don't want to go somewhere worse than this. Are you kidding me? Oh my, this is hell to me. This is half hell to me. I can recognize the beauty in the world, but I live in hell. Okay, right? Just that's oversimplification, overgeneralization, but that's how I see it. So that was my thoughts as far as killing myself. Like, I do not believe in, and I'm not scared of an afterlife. Or some people say, "Oh, you're scared to go." I'm not scared to go to hell. I'm in it. I don't want to go somewhere worse. Yeah, sure, sure, right. That's my point. That's my point. I'm like, you think I want to go somewhere worse than this? Please. No, but as far, I don't know. To me, it's silly to think there's nothing after this life. It's possible, but why would I believe that? That's just silly to me. That's just silly to me. Look at the miracle of all these things in what we can see and experience in this plane or whatever. It's What? I think of it as magic, so I'll call it miraculous, you know? I think of it as magic. I think magical, you know? It's pretty cool. So I don't know. I don't, I think it's silly to believe there's nothing after this life. You have one life to live, and I understand the perspective, and the point is to live it well, right? That I get. I don't want to waste my life, but I'm stuck in a system where that's what I'm doing, because the hell else can I do? Again, I could go walk the earth, see what happens. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time. Probably the only thing I mean, I really should just do it, because that's all I have. Anyways, you were forced to be alive. I don't. It's worth nothing. You didn't choose it. But I would never say that. That perspective to me, like, oh, you didn't choose to be alive. This is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Oh, your parents should be mad for having you. You didn't ask for this. Like, my mom loved the crap out of me, man. I have experienced love in my life. I miss it. It's been a while since I've had like whatever. But no wealth, no money, but my mom loved us with everything she was, all of herself. She loved us. So I'm not mad that she had me. I'm mad at the fucking system that we live in this world that we don't have to live in. This is done by evil people. This doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Life doesn't suck, man. The system fucking sucks. The system that we are forced to exist in while we live is what sucks. Life is incredible, but that's what sucks. That's where the class comes in. Class is murder. Money. System is fine. If it was not an evil, greedy piece of shit, demonic thing, money would be fine if everybody could afford what they need and want. But you'll have people say stuff like, you want too much stuff, you're too greedy, you're too selfish. What the fuck? Do you even know who the fuck you're saying that to? It's sure as fuck not a billionaire, is it? Fuck you. Tell that to the fucking billionaires, you fucking stupid motherfucker. But no, you aspire to be them, you fucking idiot, you brainwashed clown. Sorry, I'm not talking to you. I'm responding to the conversation. Sorry, man. I'm not talking to you. I was just generally responding to all that garbage I just said. Sorry. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Not a new conversation or anything, so, you know, slipped out, kind of. But again, Jumbo, I'm not, just so you know, to be clear, I'm not specifically telling you that. Unless you're saying these things, then yes, I am. I'm just catching up, and I was responding to, that. And then here's what's funny. Still catching up on that first one you got me with. But you should appreciate you could have been born in North Korea. How would I even know the difference? How would I know the difference? I only know what I'm told. And they could be right about North Korea. I don't know. I've never lived there. And if I did live there, how would I know how different it was to live in America? Unless I'd lived there myself. How would I know? I wouldn't. If I was in the same position that I am now in America and have been for my whole life in North Korea, I wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't know. I would just know that the system sucks. That's all I would know. The system sucks. The system sucks. The system sucks. The system sucks. That's all I would know, man. What's up, Corb? Wee wee. You could have been born with cancer. These are just stupid things to say, man. Appreciate what you have. I do. This is the assumption that those stupid messages that's brainwashing. You're saying things that don't make sense to me. Okay, sorry. To me. I see that and I'm just like, why is there an assumption that I don't appreciate what I have? I'm not talking about what I have. I'm talking about the system. This bad life you're describing, so you do in politics 10 hours almost every day. Sure, 50 years ago, people who lived didn't have much leisure time. But, all right, that's funny. Look it up. Look it up. And I'm choosing this. I don't know what's gonna happen when I get out of my savings. I don't have much. I just lost my job like I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Even then, I did have the time to stream. Yeah, people didn't have leisure time 50 years ago. Shut the fuck up, dude. You are trolling me, right? You said it earlier when you first joined the show. I'm here to annoy you, yeah, because you just say stupid things, right? Like, you have the freedom to move into a better place. No, I don't. It took every cent we had to move where I'm now. That's not freedom. That was miraculous. Everything that happened that got us free from California was insane. The freedom comes from money, buddy. You can become a farmer. How do I get land? Where do I get this magic land? I mean, here I've thought about this. I could become a farmer. I've thought about this. I've thought about just going. Like I said, if I'm gonna go walk the earth, just going, finding some land somewhere, and just claiming it, and just taking over, and trying to build a little home there, and just start living there. I've thought about that. As far as legitimately, legally, whatever, I'd have to pay for it. I have to buy a home, a farm, land. You know, right? Right? Yes? No? Yes? No? Or do you agree with me? Just go pick some land and just live there, right? That's cool. I'm like, you know, seems like a fun idea. I like it. I'm if I get, I don't know. I mean, I actually wouldn't mind getting forced to that point. I've given this a lot of thought in the past couple years, man. A lot. Right now, I don't know. I mean, again, it's not inspiring because I know that that's not going to be easy at all. Yeah. You were forced to be born? I don't see it that way. I do not see it that way. We are in a fully opposite. I do not believe birth is forced. I understand the perspective. I just don't have it. I don't share it. Ted Kaczynski, was he a murderer? I can't remember who Ted Kaczynski, whatever his name is. I can't remember who that guy is. System is complicated. People are so, and then we blame the people again. I mean, I don't know if you're just I can't help but think you're trolling me. Either that or you're just super brainwashed. You know, because that's regurgitation. People are selfish. Blame the people. Keep blaming regular people, not the richies. Do you ever blame the richies? Do you ever talk about how much money celebrities have, or the CEOs, or the billionaires, or the politicians? Do you ever? That should be your focus. That should be not regular fucking people working regular jobs. Stupid. They're selfish. They're also selfish. What the fuck are you? Anyways, and I'm not gonna say you're fully wrong. It's just stupid. Just people are selfish. Like. Unabomber. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's multiple Teds, right? I remember the name Unabomber. I forget who there was another one after that, right? Wasn't there another bomber after the Unabomber? I forget what they were called. Have your own animals, but know nothing about farming. I've had the same thought where like I don't. The laziness is not my thing. It's more I would just rather do something else. That's all. Like I'm not lazy to do that work. I've done it. A lot of my younger childhood, I did a lot of that kind of work, and it was hard work, but it was well paying. Gardening, very good pay back then when I was a kid. I don't know. I think it still pays pretty well. That was pretty good paying job, but yeah, rough. But no, I mean, not only just like really, the sun was the worst part. Really, like when you're out in the sun, man, especially in the hottest days. My gosh, dude. Anyways, no, I mean that was cool. Yeah, I mean that's actually not even hard. It's just Not, I don't want to do that. Like mowing lawns, and weeds. I forget what else, but that kind of stuff. I know there was another one I did that I can't remember what though. Should he give his way his money? Yes, yes, he should give his way his money. You do not appreciate the tech these selfish people produce just by being greedy. I mean, this is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. They're thieves. If not also murderers, they are thieves. They, yeah, this is. Our earlier conversation was fine, but when we talk about real things, you are a brainwashed person. You're very brainwashed. You don't know anything. You just believe that these rich people are heroes and they're doing these good things. Apparently, according to this, I mean, I could be oversimplifying it, but I mean, this is what you're saying. You don't. I mean, here, let me. Hold on. What do you say about this? Very skillful, talented individuals. Oh my gosh, that's so funny, right? Innovation. No such thing. Oh man. Holy crap, dude. I was responding to a buddy on Discord while waiting for an answer. That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that you might be typing something out because I don't. Popcorn. What kind of popcorn? What kind of popcorn is your favorite popcorn? No, I think mine white cheddar. I like white cheddar, but I like white chocolate too. But I really like white cheddar. I do like regular cheddar. I also like caramel, but caramel. You know what? Funny. I like caramel popcorn, but I don't like that that it sticks to my teeth. You know, it's as bad. It's like kind of worse than the kernels. You know, the caramel. They do taste good though. Oh, dude, there's salty. Ooh, yeah, like regular though, right? It is, I guess what salty without butter. Although, how does the salt stick if no butter? So it'd be salt and butter, right? Oh, unpopular, really? That was like my mom's favorite too. But yeah, no, I was just thinking about this. Like, it would have to butter because it would. I mean, you could put salt on it without the butter, but you know, you 90% of the salt would miss the popcorn, basically, right? But no, I like salty popcorn too. Yeah. There's a popcorn store out here. Nothing.